Hi. How's it going today, guys? I'm recording this on the actual day of the lunar eclipse. I actually woke up feeling a bit happy today, which is a first. Usually I wake up with a lot of anxiety because I think pretty sure I go to war when I go to sleep. Anywho, so I do have a lunar eclipse in Pisces main reading. I'll put the links in the description box. This is for twin flames and divine connections. I've got my trusty dusty notes here, speaking to some of the astrological or metaphysical stuff that I picked up on for the collective. There will be an extended for, I'm going to specifically do the divine feminines and the divine masculines in my extended. I'm going to look at the metaphysical stuff, and I'm also going to pull cards and all that good stuff that I normally do. I don't know if this video will be quite as long as the last one. Yesterday's video tuckered me out. I'm not going to lie. It was a lot of energy. But these are very energetic times. And it's such an interesting thing. Because I do want to talk a little bit about the connection. In yesterday's video, I talked about the incarnation cross we're in is the right angle cross of Eden 3, and it's about seeking out that slice of heaven. And that's really what we experience in these connections, not the shitty shit stuff not the shitty stuff that we has us falling to our knees. But every time there's a part of me that wants to defend myself or protect myself or, reject projection. There's a part of me that's like, I don't need to engage in this. And I just want to forgive, and I just want to let go. I just want to forgive anyone that's ever hurt me. I just want to, I don't want to carry that pain in my heart anymore. And it's such an obvious thing that keeps coming up for me, every hour of every day. It's a lot. And I really feel that's where we're going, because the dis-ease we have is that old, uncomfortable, toxic energy we all carry out of safety. It's such a bizarre thing. Anyways, I'm not going to get too much into that. I'm going to get into the metaphysical stuff a little bit. I'm going to kind of reiterate a little bit of the stuff I talked about yesterday and apply it to the twin flame divine connection collective. Okay. So we have the moon, right? Starting out in Pisces, making its way to Aries, and it's clearing any false illusionary energies. And this could be any false ideations you have or expectations you have of your person. Because there's this really weird, I feel often in the collective, I carry a lot here when I feel into the collective. There's just this guardedness with the divine feminines and the masculines. They're not necessarily, they probably are sometimes guarded with their feminine, but it's a lot of the stuff around them. But it's all due to past pain and the fear and trying to protect from that. But it's just these false ideations, these belief systems we have about the situation, about the scenarios, about the experiences, about our person, good, bad, or ugly. If you put them on a pedestal, they probably will never live up to that expectation. If you put them beneath you, you'll always be disappointed in them. But it's something about the way that we perceive things and the way that we are going about that's going to come up to be is this really what you truly believe? And does that belief make you feel good? Or does it make you feel like shit about yourself and all the things you've chosen to do on this journey, right? So we had that, and just really longing for genuine connectedness, longing for love, seeking out that energy and having the courage to do what we need to do to feel that. Okay. Letting go of the status of the pitfalls of status, which I thought was so fascinating. We as divine counterparts are here to dissolve all of the ways in which love and romantic love was distorted. So we have to dismantle that in ourselves, and then it'll shift outwards, right? That's kind of, I feel like it's kind of like that closure. That's what we've been working on this whole friggin' time. And I don't know if you guys are like me, but I don't want to carry that shit anymore. Like, I'm not here for that. I'm here for love. I'm here for connection. I'm here, to enjoy life and all of its little things. But that's hard to do when we carry that, opposition and polarity in us. So I think it's working out. Okay. I think it's all working out anyways. What was the other thing? The pot of gold, expansive reconciliation. Like, the amount of times I'm doing the forgiveness work and the Ho'oponopono stuff. And if you guys want that, let me know. I'll do a quick little video on that. Just the way that I've adapted it. I did not create this. It is something that I came across. Okay. And I utilize it in my Journey Through Separation course. And whenever I do it, I feel my body relax, and that tells me that it's the right thing to do. I don't know how your body tells you or how your experience tells you, but that tells me that, like, this is in alignment. And that's what I mean, like, by the right thing. It's the right thing for what I need in the moment. And it's just helping me dissolve any opposition, or I can't think of resistance or rejection of people, of friends, or my person, like, just to dissolve into a space of compassion. And whether you're here or not, I feel like this is where we're going. So you may not be here yet, and that's okay. I mean, it's taken me a solid, like, 5 to 6 years, and I'm still mastering it. I don't think it's something that we ever truly no one has ever truly perfected at this time, because we're human and we carry so much in our energy. We don't even realize we're still dealing with it. Okay. All right. So for the actual Twin Flame Collective, the Amor asteroid and the Pholus asteroid are ones that I've been tracking most recently, and I have the patterns up, and it's up on my Instagram if you want to look at the patterns of your connection or the purpose of your connection utilizing astrology and human design. So the Amor asteroid, some people will say, like, this is what you prefer in a relationship. This, to me, it signifies where you will find unconditional love at this time, where you are meant to anchor in unconditional love. Okay, so it's interesting at this time, it's transiting the first house. It's how we can embody and achieve unconditional love at this time. So love your damn self. Love your physical self. Love the way that you show up in the world, or your presence in the world. How you show up for yourself, how you show up for others, whatever that is that makes you feel that you're loved no matter what. See the perfection in your path, and therefore yourself at any given moment, knowing that you've never actually made a wrong decision. And that's a hard pill to swallow sometimes, because we are so conditioned to believe that we're meant to criticize what we've done in order to learn from it. But I don't believe that really jives at this moment. I don't think that's going to sit well with anyone. I think it's just going to internalize in a way that isn't healthy. We can look back and be like, probably could have made a better decision because this happened, but maybe this happened, and because this happened, I've gained this and this and this from it, if you really need to go there. I truly am at a point, maybe this is just me personally, where I'm like, I don't need to go. And here's the deal. I think I talked about this. We're heading into another mass awakening. There's going to be people who need to sift through the past. I want to say the trash. There's people who are going to need to sift through all that stuff, because that's how we grow and evolve and expand as human beings, right? And there still might be things that I want to dig into and be like, oh, maybe that wasn't as bad as I thought it was, or maybe just because there's some things, you do as a teenager, whereas the other kids kind of made fun of you for, like, this is how my brain works. And so when I was made fun of, and, if they ever brought it up to me to be like, yeah, well, you did this when you were like 15. And I'm like, yeah. So I would look to my 15-year-old self and say, you know what? It's okay. You were here to learn and have experiences, and you learned from that because you're here now and you are who you are. Like, just really softening any real critical need to hold ourselves in such an unrealistic way and just love ourselves through, right? The reason I think this is so important, like filling your cup first, right? Yourself needs to be the focus, because when we soften and we feel good about ourselves, we have a completely different perspective of our person and our journey. When we're in a critical state, we're lacking, and we need that. They're always going to balance us. They're always going to bring us back into alignment. It's an energetic thing, but we need more from them when we're feeling less ourselves. And so I do feel like at this time, the Amor asteroid is helping us reconcile any need to conditionally love ourselves, so we don't project conditional love on our person. We don't need them to be any way in order for us to feel good about ourselves. I'm going to talk a little bit about this more on Patreon in the purchase extended, because it's a little bit more personal for me, but and how I understood it from my masculine's perspective in regard to me. Okay, so the next asteroid is Pholus. And Pholus initiates change. It's like the Tower asteroid, the Tower Moment asteroid, okay? It is transiting the 8th house at this time. So death to fear-based traditional beliefs that no longer bring joy from a sense of inclusion. I love this. This could very much apply to the intimacy of the connection for you. It could apply to truly like letting those traditional beliefs about relationships die in regard to your connection and relationship with your person. It's gonna transform and transmute anything that doesn't serve your highest path. Your heart knows your highest path. You can envision your highest path. But unfortunately, there's a lot of old energy that's kind of in the way of that. So that's helping transmute that and move it out and realize, hey, it doesn't matter what's happened in the past. Every day is a new day. Things could happen at any moment where you can have a clean slate with your person. But if you're holding on to the pain of things and you're holding on to old belief systems about how you're meant to behave in relationships, you may not get to that place because you're constantly going to be focusing on that. And we're conditioned in that. It's an innocent thing we do. And when we start recognizing it, then we can do something about it. Okay. And I meant from a sense of inclusion, thinking that we need to have, like, I remember it was just a couple days ago. Like, I remember like it was forever ago, but I feel like time, what is time? Anyways, there was a couple days ago, I was just having a really emotional day and I needed to go for a drive. And I'm looking at all of these houses and all these people that build lives with somebody and had kids. And I'm like, I never had that. And it really was the death of, and it doesn't mean I'm not going to be in partnership with my person, or we're not going to have a house, or we're not going to have kids. It's just that the whole traditional side of things, I felt so excluded from life. And I just realized that I don't have to be included in the traditional means in order to be really inclusive in my life, if that makes sense. Inclusive with love. Okay. People will no longer be bound by hate or pain or drama, initiating. I think it's a clearing, initiation of healing and clearing. So you'll notice that like lots of platforms, especially let's say TikTok, there's so much drama. People are so invested in the drama and they hold on to this pain and this hate, and it binds them to people and binds them to experiences, but it doesn't leave them feeling good. Like it's the pain body, right? So I think we're going to see. So what I do to translate that to the actual connection is us holding on to the pain and the drama and the trauma of the connection instead of the love. I feel like that's going to transmute. because we want to feel good in our bodies. We want to feel good in our experience. And we definitely want to feel that goodness that we sense and know and trust in the connection. Opening up an opportunity for joyful mastery. Unplug from the tethered programs. We're 100% unplugging from those. You'll notice that you go to watch something, it doesn't feel good. You might even watch twin flame. You might go get twin flame readings and you're like, this does not resonate, because so many of the readers out there still have not evolved beyond the pain and drama of the connection. They're still tied to that. They're still feeding that program. And the soul is going to at some point be like, enough is enough. We don't need to participate in this anymore. We get to just lean into joy. Why are we seeking out something that we're constantly plugging into the pain of? That makes no sense. But it's hard to wrap your consciousness or understanding the subconscious stuff until it makes itself so blatantly aware that all you can really do is continue to reconcile. Okay, so I'm just going to pull some generalized cards just for the collective. Again, in the extended, I'm going to go over some of the astrology for the feminines and some of the astrology for the masculines, as well as pull specific cards. Whoops. And the link's all in the description box below. Yeah, I think that's where, like, the amount of people that message me because they got a reading from a prominent twin flame reader that just didn't jive with them. I get them all the time because they're not, and this could be too for some of those people that just need to start trusting their own selves. It's nice to be affirmed. And I don't know, the only time I've ever really told someone that someone isn't their twin flame is when it was a narcissist empath paradigm, and it was a very toxic, abusive situation where that person used that label to try and bind to the client that I was helping. So when someone's trying to tell you, I don't think they're your twin flame, I think you just need to lean into that. That's I get that a lot. I get a lot of people who want me to revive, figure out what this person's trying to say. But I think it's just, if that happens to you and maybe whatever you get from somebody doesn't really align with what you feel to be true, maybe you just get to lean into your own truth, and it's time to do that. I don't know. I obviously have feelings about that, but, okay. I always have feelings about that. We keep seeking. Sometimes I'll do that too. Or sometimes I'll use my pendulum or the cards, and they're not giving me what feels in alignment. It's because I need to go within. It just is what it is. Okay. All right. So for the twin flame divine connection collective overall for this lunar eclipse, what do we have for a highest light resonance? Ooh. Yeah. So we have what seems like the status quo. Okay. And I kind of feel that a little bit, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think we're ever going to be given a complete heads up as to when union's going to happen. We'll fixate on that. We're human. It's a natural thing. We're going to fixate on that. Did another one come up? Yeah, we've got some stuck energy. I feel that the lunar eclipse is helping with. Okay. So I think in this case, we're just getting the message, you know what? Just keep doing you. Keep doing what you got to do. Keep doing, there's nothing wrong. Nothing is out of alignment. No one's off their path. People cannot stray off the path. I remember I had this coaching session one time, and she had said to me, you need to be careful because you could slip off the path. And my whole body was like, what? It didn't resonate. And I didn't know enough to understand at the time, but the fear mongering, I think we're also being held in this place. I will go and look online sometimes and there's nothing there. And they're like, stop looking. There's nothing for you there anyways, even if there was stuff. So it's sort of getting us used to the status quo. And I really think there's going to be unexpected reconnections, reunions, unions happening. They're unexpected though. They're not something that can be predicted. And they show me that it needs to be that way because the divine feminine cannot be in a prepared defensive state. She needs to be surprised because she will be more open and fluid to the energy, which matters. Not the past, not the future, the moment. So I get that. As much as I think I'd be cool, I probably wouldn't. I would probably not be cool at all. Okay. So you might be feeling a little stuck energy in regard to the connection, but we're all feeling a little stuck. Okay. There's definitely some big things popping off. In regard to this, it's not necessarily all going to happen today, but it's almost like it's the starting point. Like somebody is starting to strike the match before it lights up, okay? Stay optimistic, stay hopeful. The only reason we struggle with optimism is because we look to the past for factual data and it can't give us what we're looking for. We're not even in the same frequency as we were in whatever past you're experiencing. We're not there. We could never experience it in that way again, but it's hard for the brain to understand that. So for me, I let myself talk stuff out. I'm like, the other day, I'm like, I feel like a complete loser. I feel like I've done nothing with my life. I'm not tying myself to what's coming out of my mouth. I'm letting myself express it because that's how I truly feel in the moment. And then it's when it moves out, when it's gone, it's like, okay, I feel better. Like, do what you got to do. Do what you got to do to get rid of the stuff. Let's get one more. Oh, dang. Oh, we got two more. Great achievement and increase, 100%. Okay. And I don't think this is something that we can quantify. Oh, I love this. We've got true love and discovery, regardless of the dark thoughts, the interference. There is a lot of interference, okay? It's going to be important for you to clear. I do this every night. I call in Archangel Michael. I say, can you protect myself and my divine counterpart? I say his name so we can get a restful sleep. Can you protect our physical space, only allowing limits for a high light and resonance? Can you help us dissolve any energetic attachments? And then I call in the violet flame. I clear every single night. I sometimes clear in the morning because there's lots of interference. And our brains are programmed to look to the past, to tether back into what once was. And that's just not serving us anymore, especially with the connection. We will have an increase. I think we feel it already. I think we feel the increase of the energy, the goodness. Maybe it's seeping into your life in little small ways. Like, I'm somebody, believe it or not, that really gets lit up by the little things in life. Like I was at my grandma's trailer this past weekend. I went out into nature and she had this like body mist spray. it's like Mandarin. I'll show you. And there's no like this stuff here, and it's the best smelling stuff. And I'm like, oh, I need this for myself. And it was at the Dollar Tree. And while I didn't know where she had gotten it from because she's away right now, so I couldn't ask her, but I went to Walmart and I went to the Dollarama and then I went to the Dollar Tree today and I looked around their beauty aisle and I didn't see it, and then I turned and it was right tucked into the corner. So I got myself two and it just lit me up like a Christmas tree. I'm like, these little things that carry us through, let them carry you through a little bit. If your brain starts worrying about where your masculine's at or if you wasted your time on this journey, come back into loving yourself and trusting that everything has had its purpose, even though we don't always understand it. I don't understand why my person's still with their karmic, but I'm sure I'll know at some point. I do know that when I think about that, though, it makes me sad and it makes me feel really depressed and it makes me feel all these things that I don't need to feel. I just feel that way because I have these beliefs about what that means. Okay, let's get a little bit more magical cards here. A little bit more cosmic. Ooh. Maya, the winged messenger, creation, spiritual direction inspires my creative flow. I do feel like we're going to get some direction if you haven't gotten any already. I do feel if you get direction right now, I don't think things are going to come into fruition right away, but you might be preparing for something. Okay. The lost star, rebirth out of the darkness into the light. Okay. So what that looks like for the Twin Flame Collective is understanding that you might be getting lots of different messages in regard to your person, in regard to your journey. And I think this is really about letting things come to light, letting the rebirth happen without any interference from ourselves, needing to interfere as if it won't turn out, or something bad will happen if we don't do the right things, right? The Diamond Star Destiny, I focus on service and follow my higher purpose. I was looking into like the Venus sequence of my own human design and gene keys and what have you. And there was something about the lower vibrational frequency of being in service. Because the divine feminine has always been in service. The divine masculine has always been in service, but it is not... it's always been more in a sacrificial way than it has been in an exchanging or equal way. So there's something really shifting in the way that we show up in the connection, what our roles are. You know, it doesn't mean your person isn't going to meet your needs in some way, but it feels so much better when there isn't a need or expectation of that. There's something with that. And we're in, you know, we feel in service to this connection and this person. They feel in service to all the, you know, crap around them. But that's shifting. Ancient grandmother teacher. I am the teacher that leads with self-knowledge. Okay. And everyone's path in this collective is different. We all have different missions. We all have different things that we're sorting out and we're leaning into. Oh, whoops. Okay, the Huntress quest. The Pleiades light my quest to be wild and free. Who doesn't? Yeah, we need to be free of the confines of the world that we live in. We're still going to be in the world. We're just not going to be of it. We're going to blaze a different kind of trail with that. I don't know specifically what that looks like, but I'm going to get into the extended and the other video. I hope that this has helped. I know it's a lot of processing and we're really coming from a place of philosophy and theory into embodiment. There's a big difference between knowing and being. And that's something I think we're mastering right now. I don't feel like there's a lot of desperation or anxious energy in regard to the collective. But there is still quite a big chunk of like defensiveness and fear from the past that I feel is being moved out as we go. So I'm sending you all so much love. The link to the extended videos is in the description box below, and take care.